Geologically, this place is quite interesting.
Don't come any closer. Identify yourself.
You are from Constellation. Vladimir said someone might be coming. I'm just glad we found you unharmed, Andreja. Vladimir and I were worried.
You are the newest member, yes? Do they often send you to check up on other, more senior members? Perhaps. I suspect Vladimir worried you might find me on the ground, instead of this one. We waste time. We should complete our mission and then we can talk. We are here for the artifact. We should keep going. Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets.
You are back. You did not respond when I called to you after you pulled out the artifact. Does that mean Barrett's theory and experience were correct? The artifact grants the first person who touches it a vision? The fact that it has happened to both you and Barrett is already more than we had before.
I think it is important that we discuss what you saw back there. That man. What I had done. It was, yes. I appreciate that you see it that way. A very practical outlook, not one I find is shared amongst members of Constellation. May I ask what your background is? Argos. I have heard of this company. Small, reckless. Interesting. I do not have experience with this profession, but I have my own experiences with risk. We both seem to be unusual additions to Constellation. Please, I would ask that you not mention to Vladimir the circumstances in which you found me. This is not the first time that Va'ruun zealots have attempted to corner me. If it is known that this has happened again, well, it has been a while since I was given an assignment on my own. I would not want it to be even longer in the future. Do you understand? You are unfamiliar. This is a surprise. Few have not heard of them. They are fanatics, having taken the teachings of House Va'ruun and twisted them into a belief that the galaxy must be wiped clean before the Great Serpent's return. So, in this I would say I have done the galaxy a favor. Yes, it would seem they have not yet learned how much it will cost them. But then that is their fundamental problem, is it not? An inability to see anything other than the path which they have created for themselves. Mom, this means we are in agreement. Thank you. That is good to know. I will finish here and return to New Atlantis when I can. You should go now, as they will be expecting us. Much as I'm eager to explore the universe, there's nothing quite like the feeling of returning home.
Look at you two. I'm jealous. I tried following up on some leads myself, but came back empty-handed.
They could be anywhere, can't they? Embedded in a rock, or in the hands of an unsuspecting novelty goods trader? A couple of scans from the eye, but it looks like you got there first. Shame on me for taking the scenic route, huh? I wasn't aware we were competing, but game on.
Oh no, don't you two start. We're supposed to be working together, not competing.
What's wrong with a little rivalry here and there? I think it pushes us to be at our best.
Or causes nothing but arguments.
Arguments which then breed distrust. Noel is right, Mateo.
Well, I suppose there was that one time, and then the other. What do you think? A little competition can't be that bad, can it? Exactly. We're all friends here. Why shouldn't we want to bring out the best in each other?
The best shouting, you mean? The halls of the lodge echo, you know.
I'm siding with Matteo on this one as well. I find that a little competition is the spark people need to push themselves to achieve their goals.
You know what? I just realized I completely overtook this whole conversation. This should be about you and Andreja celebrating a win for the group.
I do not mind being asked to join in a debate. It was good to hear everyone's sides. But I do agree that we accomplished something together. Thank you for your help. I have no objections. Let us see what else we can find out there.
Noel, pulling some interesting data from those new artifacts. Tell the Rook to meet me back on board the station.
You do not need to ask me if you may ask. You may just ask. Honestly, I cannot answer that. So many years have been driven by survival in intense circumstances. Leisure time it's been in short supply. And I suppose I have conditioned myself to not think about it much. I do enjoy combat training, though I suppose that is hardly the answer you are looking for. You have given me something to consider. Thank you for that. I have done so in the past, when necessary, but I am not the best pilot, and it seems prudent to apply my skills where they are most useful. Lately, that means aiding you. And that, I think, has worked out very well. You might find it absurd, but honestly, the Lodge... I have never been surrounded by such a remarkable group of people, present company included. It has been a very long time since I have been someplace that could possibly feel like home. There are worlds beyond count out there, but that feeling is rare and precious. I enjoy the conversation.
Oh, then thank you, but it was not necessary. We succeeded. I have things I wish to discuss with you when you have time. We have not yet had a moment to talk about what happened to you at that place. Temple? I am not sure what to call it. In all my time amongst the stars, I have never heard of such a thing. What do you think that place was? Then it seems fitting that you were the one to discover it. Certainly it is too soon to speculate about who built it, but... how can we not? After what you experienced, do you have any insights? It is hard to argue, but the implications... I am sorry. After what you have been through, I should be asking about you. Are you all right? Have you felt any side effects? How can any of us know what will happen? This is the definition of unprecedented, is it not? A cynical person might suggest that in itself could be a side effect. But for now, we will just assume you have been very fortunate. The artifacts, that temple, this new ability you have acquired, clearly they are all connected. This is all so much bigger than we realized. Yes, you are right. And if we continue to work together, perhaps we can start to explain some of this. Now we have even greater reason to press forward, to learn more about what is at work here.
Never would I have imagined to encounter something like these Starborn. Now I feel that rather than having answers, we only have more questions. After all that we have seen, I am not sure that we are not. Regardless of how impossible they may have seemed before now, I must say that I do not like being threatened by anyone. I do not understand how seeking answers can be so dangerous. Clearly, these Starborn are connected to the artifacts, which would mean that they are also connected to that temple you found. Did they make these things? Have they appropriated them? This all implies there is something more, something we do not yet understand. I am never worried. Cautious, perhaps. It has always been necessary to prepare for the unexpected. This is just a bit more unexpected than usual. Seems to be how things go here in Constellation. You are right. And it would seem that if we do, we may well cross paths with these Starborn again. We will need to be on our guard from now on. They seem to know much about us. Perhaps we can learn more about them to make it even. We should return to our search then. There is still so much to do.
He came out of nowhere. Thank you. I don't think I can move right away. But I'll make it. Go on. The lodge feels a little cold. I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know we met under, unusual circumstances. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them? I think none of us were expecting what we have found. Well, perhaps Matteo. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation? No, I do not. But I find it hard to quantify. Many of the other members are polite, but distant. I worry that my background and my actions concern them. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death. Why should I be? It was necessary for survival. I would not be here otherwise. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite. That is kind of you. You also have a lot going. I find expressing affection difficult, but truly. Thank you. I know this seems trivial, perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this. By a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense? Thank you. That is reassuring. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence. It would have been, to some, Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me. I have been curious. I know that your role in Constellation was thrust upon you in an unusual way. But that experience does not demand that you stay. You could have delivered the artifact and then left. Why do you stay? It does seem to be a unique situation with serious consequences. That is what keeps me here as well. My past is complicated. And anyone in Constellation will tell you I do not speak much of it. But my family always stressed the importance of having a purpose in life. You must have a reason for being. This group of people, who by rights would never associate with one another, has come together for a common cause. That is impressive on its own, before considering the magnitude of the work they have undertaken. The possibilities it holds. Fun is not a consideration. I am not saying I am incapable of it, it just should never be a priority over other things. When I first came to New Atlantis, I was shocked at how many people go about their business every day like drones. They do their jobs, eat their food, sleep in their beds, all seemingly without concern for anything around them. Complacent. Their experience is so different from much of the settled systems. They do not know how good they have it. There is no struggle to survive here. No great risk in daily life. I'm sure you have seen for yourself that is not the case for much of the settled systems. Hostile environments, dangerous creatures, not to mention the threats posed by other humans. None of that touches these people. Yes, they were. I did not grow up amidst such luxury. Purpose cuts through adversity. I know that all too well. And these people seem to have no idea. I have. There have been times where I wondered whether it was worth it. My family is unique within the settled systems. I grew up outside the bounds of the United Colonies, or the Freestar Collective. My parents, and their parents before them, did not believe anyone outside our family could be trusted or relied upon. You can imagine, I am sure, how existence without ties to others is challenging in space. They believed, and still do, that anyone who was not part of our family did not share our values, our goals, and was ultimately a potential threat. My time in the settled systems has mostly led me to agree with them. It has certainly proven valuable. Saved me. A few times, without question. For now, though, it would seem you and I have found purpose in Constellation. I believe that is enough. I am pleased that we have common cause, and have enjoyed our time together. Thank you. I have been thinking about what we talked about before. The idea of purpose in one's life. You told me that fun was important. I assumed you were joking and dismissed it out of hand. But, having thought about it, I wonder now if you were right. Or at least, if I were too quick to reject the idea. I have been single-minded in my pursuits. I have always believed the decisions I made were necessary, that there was no other option. I have sacrificed much to be where I am now. And I'm starting to wonder if it has been worth it. I know. I have told you that I am not one to discuss my past. And yet...
No, that is not what I am trying to say.
I promised to provide for my family. That meant working with smugglers to procure supplies we could not acquire any other way. I have spent my adult life away from my home, jumping from one planet to the next, living in dangerous conditions, often surrounded by violence. It certainly influenced the way I see the universe. I was convinced from the beginning that it was unwise to let anyone get too close. I had, maybe not quite friends, but people I cared about. Yet there was always a distance I could not reach across. I often find other people complicated and confusing. It seemed easier to not become attached, especially when circumstances meant I might never see them again, with no warning. Until now, I have disagreed strongly with that idea. But therein lies my concern. What I am trying to say is that I now wonder whether it has been the right decision to distance myself from others. I appreciate that more than you know. I have something I wanted to say. But I confess I am afraid of how you will react. I am reluctant to put that to the test. But it is necessary that we are honest with each other. I know that you said you prefer to be surrounded by others, unlike me. But Constellation means something to us both. And I must be honest about why. The little I have spoken of my history has been nothing but truth. I worked with smugglers. I have caused my share of pain and suffering. What I have left out, until now, is that all of that was done on behalf of House Va'ruun. My people. My family.
You have not heard the name? I am surprised. Generations ago, our founder, Jinan Va'ruun, he had an experience while grab jumping. He made contact with an immortal being beyond time and space, beyond our universe. The Great Serpent told Jinan Va'ruun that our universe is his dominion. And while he has been away for millennia, he will return soon. And when he does, we must be prepared. My people have worked to that end for many years now, and it has caused conflict with the rest of the settled systems.
Cult is such a dismissive word. The faithless run to it so quickly. I have grown so tired of hearing it and all that it implies. I was born in the great city of Dazra, and raised with the teachings of Jinan Va'ruun. I underwent the rite of Krejar when I came of age. I am of the promised, those who know the truth of the Great Serpent and his inevitable return. Your ability to find the humor in a situation is remarkable. No, I will not kill you for knowing, but you must understand that this is privileged information. Several years ago, I intercepted requests from Constellation to access Varun's space, speaking only of exploration. I was sent to infiltrate Constellation, posing as a former smuggler looking for a new purpose in life. I withheld certain information, but everything I told Vladimir was, and is, true. It seemed to be enough. For a short time. Several weeks after I arrived, I attempted to access secure records within Constellation's archives. Vladimir and Sarah were waiting for me. I thought the same. And yet there they were. I was horrified. My failure would be reported to the High Council, and the penalty would be severe. Yes, she is. I cannot imagine anyone else in her position doing the same. You and I have spent so much time together. It has been increasingly difficult to keep this from you. And I am sorry for that. Telling you this violates so many of the orders I was given. But it was the right thing to do. I can feel that. You have no idea what a relief that is. Thank you for trusting me.
The things I do to them. I don't trust shielding. I got secrets.
It has been a relief to be honest with you about my past. I appreciate your willingness to listen. But talking about this, remembering all those years, has brought back some unsettling memories. Thank you. That means a great deal to me. I have told you that I spent many years coordinating with smugglers along the edges of the settled systems. There were men and women I worked alongside closely. And over time, I established relationships. They were not of the promised, but I considered them friends. It describes the people of House Varun. We who have been promised to serve the Great Serpent now and forever. In exchange, he promises to care for us when he returns to his domain. Yes, very. It was not what I was expecting. You must understand. I was raised to believe that those who do not follow the Great Serpent do not matter. For they are lost, their fate is fixed and grim. And yet here were these men and women with hopes and dreams, delights and aversions. It felt like a small betrayal of my people, of House Varun, but I cared for my friends. And then I lost them. It was, in ways I did not understand at the time, and so it has bothered me ever since. It was so sudden. We had met on a remote planet to transfer cargo, and zealots appeared in force, seemingly out of nowhere. There was barely time to react. So many were cut down immediately. I believe my years of training saved me, got me moving when others faltered. I retreated to my ship immediately. But I left them all behind. Aaron Bascom and Jada Wong. They were my friends, and I abandoned them. And in the years since, I have never looked for them. No, maybe. I don't know. It all happened so fast, and I've had so much time since then to replay it in my head. Wonder if I should have done things differently. In my time getting to know you, I have thought more and more of all this. How little sense it all made, how I never really knew what happened or what became of my friends. My connection to you has reminded me what it means to trust someone, to be there for them. And I can no longer live with not knowing. I need to finally pursue this. I would like you with me when I do. I do not know what we will find, but I know it will be easier with you at my side. Thank you. That is... I'm sorry, I am not used to someone being so considerate on my behalf. I am not sure where they might be now, but I believe we should begin the search in Aquila City. That is where I last saw Aaron Bascom.
Yes, Aggies. I have spent far too much time here.
He is not here. I am disappointed, but
Someone got stabbed
relieved
last night.
somehow?
Nobody got hit in the face.
Huh. Maybe.
Yes, but now I feel guilty for being relieved. Ugh,
Sure as hell ain't my
why must this all be so complicated? Someone here must know more.
Yeah.
We should
Wonder if
inquire
have
about
a
him.
Tooth lost and found.
This bar may be tougher than you can handle. You ain't here looking for Erin. She is.
Hello, Aggie. I was unsure whether you would remember me. It has been a long time.
I ain't likely to forget you anytime soon. I heard you ain't deaf. She didn't ruin Aaron's life enough the first time, huh? Back for more?
Ruined his life? How dare you?
Did she tell you what she did to him? How she left him bleeding on some godforsaken rock in the middle of nowhere? No? Were you there? Aaron told this story so many damn times over the years, I feel like it sure as hell was. Aaron sat in that corner for years, scared of his own shadow, convinced the damn zealots were coming back to finish the job. The few credits he had to rub together that didn't get spent on drink, he spent on setting himself up someplace where they couldn't find him. Wouldn't trust anyone that walked through the door. Only ever talked to me when he was drunk enough. If either of you cared, you wouldn't just be showing up now. Aaron ain't been in here for almost a year now. Showed up one day saying he'd gone and got himself set up on Hyla too, thanking me for letting him stay here so often. It was the closest I'd seen him to happy in I don't know how long. And that was it. Never came through the door again.
Did he ever mention me?
You mean, did he blame you? That's what you want to know. I know guilt when I see it. Don't try and deny it.
Fine. Did he blame me?
No. Believed you were one of the good ones, right up until the last time I talked to him. Me? I don't think your kind has good ones.
My kind?
I know what you are. You take your holier-than-thou bullshit and your great serpent and shove them.
You dare insult me like this when I have come to you asking for help. I should kill you where you stand. You are right. We should focus on finding him.
Well, this has been so much fun. You see Aaron, you tell him I got a bottle of his favorite stashed away if he ever shows up again. But honestly, I'm hoping he doesn't.
A pleasure. We have something to go on, at least. I am grateful that you showed some compassion, despite that woman's attitude. I do not have your patience. Yes. I had not considered that his absence would affect others in the same way. It is better to overlook her reaction, then. I'm eager to reach Hyla too, and speak to Aaron. Perhaps there is something we can do to help him. Provide him a sense of safety.
Ethan handles them.
We should be on our guard here. If we could detect the camp from orbit, it means others could too. And I have no idea what fortifications he may have. When we arrive, would you let me speak to him first? I think that is important right now. You do have your moments, yes. But it sounds like he has been on edge for years now. I would hate to make the situation even worse. Let us proceed slowly and carefully. I do not want to antagonize him.
I guess we'll have to do this the hard way.
Good to see you.
I don't know what to say. I thought there would be a chance to speak to him. To make amends. Or at least to hear him curse me for leaving him. I was prepared to accept that. I did not think I would find him like this. At least these vermin didn't get him. He's been gone for... Well, clearly it's been some time. Look around. There will be correspondence from Jada Wong, I am sure of it. This cannot all be for nothing. You found something. Please, let me see it. I should have guessed. Jada was always the one to run towards trouble. Of course she would still be doing it now. In her own way. For anyone else, I would say the chances of survival are slim. But for Jada... she is alive and on a mission. I would bet my life on it. Jada was younger than some of the other smugglers we contracted. There was concern she would be unreliable. As time went on, we called on her more and more often, eventually relying on her almost exclusively. She was sharp, a skilled pilot and very, very determined. Always talking about her big plans for retirement, how she would live like a queen. I am not surprised that she would desire revenge. But to go this far, we need to find her. But before we go, I've discovered something else. And I do not know what to make of it. Aaron was composing a reply to Jada, but never sent it. It reads as if he was expecting the Zealots to find him. That they knew where to look for him. Clearly he had become paranoid, but that does not mean he was wrong. What bothers me, though, is that he mentions a name he should not know. Tomisar Kadik. Yes, I do. For all of my assignments in the settled systems, Tomisar has been my link to House Barun. From him, I have received my orders, and he is the person to whom I have reported my success. He does not work with anyone outside House Baroon, and I am the only one who knows how and where to find him. Aaron should never have heard of him. It is hardly that simple. We must first make sure that Jada is safe, and perhaps she will be able to shed light on this. Let us head for the den. Either she is here.
Only a matter of time before I get
unusual or
promoted
illegal,
out of here.
Huang? Really? There are at least 3 other pilots based out of here I'd expect to receive complaints about first. Before we get started, I have to inform you there's a formal review process for the Vanguard, so don't expect any action for a while, okay? Now, what is the nature of your complaint? Okay, as long as there's no problem. Jada isn't here. Hasn't been here in a while. In fact, she's following up on some sensitive information. I'm not sure I should disclose any more than that. It's not something I can just blurt out. I've got nothing better to do. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. I'm trying to be reasonable here. I suppose it's not the end of the world. Jada came in a bit ago, all fired up over some hot lead. She's been focused on zealots ever since she was assigned here, but this was a whole other level. She was headed out to Groombridge to track them down. Never seen her so fixated. And if you know Jada, that's saying something. If you're headed out that way, be careful. Wouldn't surprise me if she's getting into all kinds of trouble. Vanguard's here if you need...
State your business. Who the hell are you? And what are you doing here? You're what? You have got to be kidding me. You show up here now of all times? Shit. I've got multiple ships inbound. Too late to run. Sure hope you're prepared for a fight. Opportunity to blow me up. So either that's not your goal, or you're playing some long game. You want to explain yourself? I can't stop you from coming over here. But I'm gonna be armed, and it's gonna be aimed at her head. Just so we're all clear.
Assuming all systems are nominal, we are ready to depart.
How? How can you possibly show your face?
I am glad to see that you are safe, Jada. I am sorry if this is difficult for you.
Difficult? Are you serious right now? You set us up, killed my friends, and then a decade later you show up like nothing happened? Have you lost your mind?
Set you up? I was not behind that. It was zealots, you know that. We were all attacked.
Don't bullshit me. Not now. And who the hell are you? Her backup dancer? I was too a ways back. You can see how that's worked out for me. What are you doing here with her? You don't look like Varun to me. Yeah. Difference is, though, I haven't been working with them. She has.
I would never!
You know, for a while I told myself it was a coincidence that you disappeared once the shooting started. That you were long gone when the dust settled. Told myself, no, it couldn't possibly be her. Not after all those years we spent working together. We're friends. So I went after the Zealots. And then I found out the truth. Your damned High Council. They knew. Told the Zealots where to find us.
That's not true. That cannot be true.
Oh, it is.
How? How do you know this? If you have proof, I need to see it right now.
You don't get to demand anything of me, Andreja. I know what I've seen! I don't have... It doesn't work like that. I've put things together over the years. Slates, communications, interrogations.
A name, Jada. Give me a name. You must have heard one by now.
Tomasar Kadik. That's the bastard from the High Council who's been helping the Zealots.
And did you hear this from Aaron?
Aaron? What? No, I haven't talked to him in a year. What do you know about it?
Jada, I swear on the Serpent himself, I would never betray you. I need time to make this right. Can we go somewhere and talk?
I am not giving up on this! I've tracked them this far, and I'm going to see this through! You want your proof? Well, they have it!
You are a welcome diversion. What do you need?
I really can't believe you thought you'd just show up. That's him! That's the bastard responsible for the ambush! If you're not lying to me, then you better help me take him down! Otherwise, I'll just have to destroy you both! Get back to your ship!
I smile today in the knowledge that the Great Serpent has truly blessed my ship and my crew. Why else would he have delivered unto me the dregs of our purge years ago? The awful that escaped our righteous justice.
Pathetic High Council, who betrayed the charge laid upon them by the Great Serpent, gave you over to us to atone for their sins.
It always irks me that you escaped the fate you deserved. But now, the Serpent sets my mind at ease, and in his name, I will cleanse your filth from this universe.
Welcome back.
I do not understand. It cannot be possible that the High Council would betray us like that. He must have been lying. That is not an option. Even if we could reach them, you are a non-believer. You would be killed. Something about this does not feel right. This message. The code at the bottom. I have seen this before. I know where we need to go. I must explain. House Va'ruun values secrecy above nearly all else. Those of us sent out into the settled systems, we cannot return. Maybe not forever, but certainly until our mission has been accomplished. When we are assigned a mission, we are taken to a point outside of House Va'ruun's domain. We do not jump ourselves. We are never given the coordinates for Va'ruun Kai, our homeworld. We literally cannot return. Only a select few are ever trusted with that knowledge. I can never go home. Unless I am permitted. It has been deemed necessary for the protection of House Va'ruun. And for generations, it has worked. Who am I to question it? But there is something I can do. I cannot travel to my home, but I can reach out another way. But it means putting you in danger in a way you have not been before. I cannot say for certain what will happen. And we have survived this, yes, but what comes next is different. I just want to make that clear. There is an old derelict star station where I may get answers. I know that seems vague. It will become clear when we arrive. Now that we are here, what will be our next course of action? Likely forest boat. I need you to trust me. These stations were built by the United Colonies during the Serpent's Crusade. They were abandoned when peace was brokered. They are an excellent place to hide in plain sight. Before we go any further, I cannot stress this enough. Keep your weapons at your side. Do not make any sudden moves. Do nothing to appear hostile. Thank you. Please give me a moment. I am not the one who needs to explain himself, Tomisar.
I am surprised by your tone. What has gotten into you? This is very unlike you. Almost insubordinate.
I know what you have done. The messages you sent.
You are not making any sense. Of course I send you messages. That is how this works. That is how it has always worked.
Not to me! To the zealots! To the fanatics who murdered my friends, who tried to murder me!
You must be mistaken. Or perhaps confused. Nothing like that has ever happened.
Enough! I have the transcripts, Tomisar. You did this. You told them where to find us.
Now, let's just take a moment. No one wants to make accusations they might regret. You are from that Constellation group. I've heard all about you. You have turned her against me, filled her head with lies. This will not be allowed to stand. Insolence! You have corrupted her!
I said enough! This is between you and me.
This has gone far enough. Talk some sense into her at once. Neither of you would dare lift a finger against me. Against House Varun. I have already said this is a misunderstanding. But I am. If you let Andreja hurt me, I am her only link to the High Council. To House Varun. Without me, she can never return home. You must make her listen to reason.
He is responsible. He deserves to die.
Did you not hear me? You do this, you lose everything!
I heard you. I know what it costs me. But he deserves it. Does he not? I have been betrayed. Why should I care anymore? The only thing keeping him alive right now is... I know that if I do this, I lose my home. Probably forever. I do not know what to do. I know. I want to so badly. I do not know how to live with this. Consider yourself fortunate. You get to live.
This is not over. The High Council will hear of your treason.
Perhaps they will hear of your actions as well, Tomisar. Think on that. Come. Let us leave this place. I wish to return to the lodge.
The Great Serpent will see you punished for your impudence.
Thank you for coming back here with me. I fear that... after all that has happened, I am unsure of my place in House Varun. This room may now be the only place I have left to call home. It is reassuring to hear you say that, but still, I worry that I have made a mistake. What if Tomisar betrays me to the High Council? What if he turns House Varun against me, and I am cut off from them forever? I know you will, but that may not be enough. I do not know how to live without some connection to House Varun. The Great Serpent has always been a guiding force in my life, the force that drives all that I do. What if I have lost that? Yes, that is true. Whatever else has happened or will happen, the Great Serpent still holds a purpose for me. You have been by my side through all of this, the most turbulent time in my life. And you have supported me, faithfully. I have never been able to count on any single person the way I have with you. If I am repeating myself, you will have to forgive me. I cannot overstate what it means to me. Well, that is... I am sorry. I need a moment. I admit this is a surprise. I did not quite realize you felt this way about me. But if you mean it, my feelings are not so different from yours. We must be clear on one thing from the very beginning. I do not share. If you are mine, then you are mine alone. No one else will come between us. If that is not a commitment you are willing to make, I understand, but I will not compromise. Oh, I am quite certain. Do not doubt my intent. Then truly nothing can stop us. We will be a force to be reckoned with. You have brought a joy to my life that I could not have imagined, and could never have expected. With you at my side, love, I look forward to everything that comes next. Before I say anything else, I wanted to thank you for giving me time. When I first came here, I never expected that I would meet you or feel this way about you, that we would end up here together. I did not wish to suggest that I did not believe you when you said we could make this work, despite our differences. I hope I made that clear. There is no precedent for any of this. A romantic relationship not within the bounds of Barun culture, I mean. I wanted to attempt to honor that culture nonetheless. I know, and I love you for that. The point I am trying to get to is that I believe I have an idea, a way I can demonstrate my commitment to you. Do you seriously believe I am going to wear a dress for this? Let alone buy one for the occasion? I do not want a fancy party. I do not want to wear a dress, and we do not need music. This is between you and me, and no one else. You know who I am. I do not need to explain myself to you as I would to others. They might not understand, and I do not want that distraction. I want to be able to focus on us. So, as soon as you are ready, I want us to travel together to the second planet in the Shosa system. There's something we need to do there. There is little I can offer to show you how much I care, how much you mean to me. Whatever House Varun deems proper could not work, because you are not House Varun. And whatever marriage traditions you might have would not be appropriate for me. If you are not joking, then no, you are not. But there is something here that I believe will make up for it. This place, where we stand now, is the first place I was brought upon leaving my city, Dasra. The first time I had ever left my home planet. As you know, I was never allowed to know the way back home. That frightened me. But at the same time, I was suddenly aware of not just one planet, but a whole universe I had never seen. That is a feeling I had not experienced again until I met you. You have already done so. There is no need for you to worry. But there is more. Buried here is something of great value to me. Something I wish you to have. It is best, I think, if you are the one to retrieve it. You hold in your hands the most treasured item I could give you. You certainly have not. There is a reason for that, and I hope when I explain why, you will understand what this means. In my culture, every child is entrusted with a pet groat. They are domesticated creatures native to my planet. Smelly, cantankerous, but their milk is a staple of our diet. We raise the groat. We care for it, we milk it. And when we come of age, we slaughter the groat and fashion its skull into a dagger. It is a lesson. Through this growth, we are shown the connection that we have to the Great Serpent. That all things serve the Serpent, and can be tools for his use, in more ways than one. I am glad that you can appreciate that. Every member of House Baroon has a dagger like this. We are instructed to keep them at our side at all times. The Great Serpent is always with us, as is the danger of those who defy and oppose him. But that constant connection to the Great Serpent is a liability to those of us sent out into the settled systems. So when we first leave our home, we hide it. Yes, precisely. So for years, this dagger has remained buried here, hidden from the world. But now, I believe you should have it. With it, I hope you can understand that I trust you completely. That I know you will care for this the way you care for me. And that we are connected in a way that is now truly unique in the settled systems. In all of creation. I love you, and I am yours. Wholly and completely. You are very welcome, and I know that you will. I would not have brought you here otherwise. Whew. Now, surely there is some other grand adventure that awaits us. We should go and meet it head on. Hello, love. So, the Unity awaits. I'm not as afraid as I thought I would be. Stepping away from the world you know can lead to a better place. That is not what I meant. I would not want to leave it behind so easily either. I just meant that life keeps going. Even when you have lost everything. Do you think we will see each other after the Unity? Will we even recognize each other if we do? Part of me does not want to. I could stay here with everyone
with you, but I will step into the beyond whenever you are ready. I know this is what we have all been working for. I am grateful for our time together.
Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share in their emotion. I have seen death. I have lost people I considered close. But this is... it is not the same. I cannot explain why. I am not sure I am making sense. Thank you.
Your lover, Andreja, eventually chooses to be reborn herself. Your commitment to each other bolsters all relationships in the settled systems. Marriages blossom. More people in House Va'ruun begin to question its orthodoxy and look to the outside world.
I did not think I would see you again. I almost walked in myself, but I thought, what if someone else came back and they were alone? But at some point you will. The Unity may wait forever, but there will come a day when we cannot remain together, no matter how much we wish it. Still, I will remember the moment when you chose me over the infinite. Now that you have seen the Unity, what are your thoughts? I suppose that is one way of observing things. There is a part of me that still believes you should go. That the Unity is the last step on this journey. Now that you are back, I am not sure what I think. Perhaps Constellation is worth holding on to. Even with the feeling of destiny in the distance.
I'm listening.
Do you have a new set of orders for me today?
Oh, interesting. Now, this is a surprise. Tell me.